Alright, welcome back to Final Fantasy 3 Pixel Remaster. Onwards and upwards to our journey. I turned off the encounters because they're annoying. And in the last video I already showed you what you needed to do to get the other ones. So, honestly, this path is so huge you should be running into every enemy encounter inside of the Ancient's Maze anyway, naturally, that you won't have any issues. Because a lot of the enemies in this game overall have been very easy to come by. It's just right now we're dealing with the problem of like damage received and damage giving, even though we are highly leveled. That is something about Final Fantasy 3 that absolutely drives me nuts, is the overall pacing of the game and the balance of the game have always been shit. And I'm not sure there's a great way to kind of fix that at all. So now you have a viable way of inflicting petrification if you can get the the mages, right? Is he a mages? Yeah, the mages to bonk people now, and coincide that with the golem staff from the devout. You'll be able to kind of inflict gradual petrification, which you only need to hit an enemy 3 times to do that. This game is such more relaxed, though, when you're not having to struggle to survive these mazes. It's just terrible, man. Hellish Claws. Yeah, that's, the only thing that these claws are good for are the abilities that they come with. And that's the only reason why you would probably even want to put it on there, if you want to attach status effects to the black belt. But obviously you've been seeing me use just regular punches for like 5,000 damage and kicks for the whole group of enemies. That does like well over 1,000 damage, so it's just much better to utilize them that way. Weakest character because of armor wise, but other than that, he's fine. All right. Something that's very terrible about Final Fantasy 3 as well is that there have been no way to heal yourself outside of like pots and the ship and all that. So there are no tents or cottages or anything like that in this game. So you'll have to use your items in order to kind of heal yourself. You'll have to utilize elixirs if you want to get all of your MP back. There's like, I don't think there's been any ethers that we saw either. So this game is really weird about how you repaired your stuff or got stuff back, but yeah. But now we make our entry into the Crystal Tower, and this dungeon is going to go a distance. Alright. So, first things first though, and we actually want to go straight forward through these doors. This is where you're going to use the Eureka key in order to go into Eureka, which is where some of the more powerful items and bosses and the other 2 classes that we need to get for trophy are going to be located. This is a completely optional place, but this is like, you know, something you need to do. Alright, once again, I'll showcase a few battles from here, but I'll just show what you're going to miss out. Or not miss out, but what you need to get. Because I'm not really interested in doing any of the battles here. So we'll actually start doing this. Hold on. Alright, like I said, I'm done with those because those are stupid battles. It's like the game is a lot like I kind of regret doing this kind of thing because the game is really fun when you have to sit here and strategize your way through the entire dungeon. So the fact that they added these no encounter things is kind of like a little bit of a curse in a way. 5, 6, and 7. Alright, so floors 5, 6, and 7 of the Crystal Tower is what's going to spawn the yellow, green, and red dragon respectively. And those are your extremely rare encounters in this game. So once we get there, I'm not going to showcase them because it just takes too long to do it. If we run into them naturally, then fine. On those specific floors, I'll keep the encounters on just in case we do run into one. But other than that, yellow 5, green 6, red 7. That's what are going to be how you get those dragons to spawn. Everything else, though, is pretty easy to get. You just have to kind of run and battle a couple times. Alright, so Avia, only in here. Slipnir, we already seen this. Oh, I had to sneeze. All right, Halka, the Acheron, which is going to be actually pretty common for this guy. This guy drops more than I think the fish-looking dudes. Oceanus, and that's it. So make sure you encounter those while you're in here. And you can pause the video and all that stuff to kind of figure out what you need and what you need from it. But anyway, we're turning those off and we're continuing on. So you're going to need every bit of your power too for the bosses that are coming up. Like when I say come in here prepared, I really mean come in here prepared because it's a journey. This place was like even at highest, like the max job levels and the highest levels you can possibly attain in the 3D remake, this place is difficult. I'm talking hard. Ninjas are deadly, as we just saw. And he just smacked me into yesterday, so that hurt. Okay, prevent status elements. I think the music goes crazy in this. Can't remember if I went in there. This is such a different experience than actually like getting your ass kicked and then having to heal 300 times. Alright, we are at our first legendary weapon. That's pretty much what you come to Eureka for. So you do have to come in here to grab all the legendary weapons. You will pop a trophy for doing this. And you need it for the final job classes anyway. So yeah, you're making a detour, going to Eureka, possibly having to retraverse the Ancient's Maze just to get back to your ship so you can replenish your stocks. That's usually how this game goes, before you even touch anything in the Crystal Tower. But I'll tell you right now that the very first game ever made for this was horrible. It was hard as fuck. It's a blade that's not going to do anything for our classes currently because it does not even really... I mean, I guess you can put it on him, but... Can't really go anywhere else with it, so... Let's see, Break Blade... Yeah, he needs a significant boost anyway. He's kind of sucking right now. And that's going to be the gist of it. There are going to be a lot of reskin bosses that in your past, and you want to go ahead and just test your metal, do it all over again, see if you remember how to take down each one. Fast immune. She also hits like a fucking truck, so this is going to be another good one. I would just drain the human ones. Oh yeah, she's gonna go now. I don't think you learn to spell in this game. It's called Erase. Okay. Holy shit. Brutal, right? She might actually kill him. I don't know yet. So Massimian's only equipable to the Dark Knight Samurai user kind of guys, so yeah. So I was okay with using a Karaja anyway, so go ahead. You can see how you have to progress like so. Floaty bridging. Excalibur. The general, I think, is the easiest of the bosses until he wipes me out, right? The one thing I really don't like about Final Fantasy III, though, is that there are not a lot of buffs and or like detriment spells in this game for what it's like, for the amount of job classes that you can change into and stuff. Because basically, if you really want like a good buff class, it's going to come from the Bard, which is really strange because that's going to like what increases your attack power, gradual HP restoration, all sorts of shit like that. So like they kind of had the right idea, but you had to be certain classes to do that stuff. But you're wasting, you know, a job class for damage just for something like that instead of just a character like the mages in order to learn those abilities, which is kind of insane. Got a tear up there. Excalibur. So now the Knight's a little bit better, right? Now he's looking really good because he has his most powerful weapons available to him now. All but one, I believe. So he should be hitting harder than the black belt now, but the black belt with his times multiplier is something else. Okay, you get a rod. This is a really nice rod. Or staff. And then if you defeat this one, you get the ninja and the other class. So Scylla can be a little bit of a bitch. Be careful. Wow, there is a tremendous slowdown that I'm watching right now. That's pretty bad. I guess they didn't fix a lot of the game. That is a noticeable frame dip. Oh shit. I hate that it only went after the mages there. Like, why, dude? And then you get the ninja and sage classes. Hell yeah. So with that, the ninja is the strongest class of, I think, any of them, because you're able to utilize any weapon, put on any armor, do whatever you want with the ninja, right? So if you want to have like a viable team that's pretty much all ninjas and just have the most damaging weapons equipped to your people and just go and wreck face, that's the ninja job for you. That's how it's going to work. But where they shine the best is when they throw their shurikens. Shurikens is hands down the best way to tackle the final boss and a lot of the bosses in this game, to be honest. We have a lot of gil. So the door that we're going to go through after we fight this last boss, there's a couple of vendors here that actually sell stuff to you. So you're going to buy the final set of spells, but then you're also going to buy a bunch of shurikens on your normal playthrough, and you're just going to throw the shit out of them at everything that you see in the game. Because you will be hitting over 9,999 damage for each one, and it's just the strongest way to deal with shit. So that's kind of the idea behind the ninja. That's why we do this. Very nice class. Obviously, on my other saves, I have them pretty much fully loaded up. Yeah, see, I got a ninja there, so. And then the other job is the sage. So the sage is a little bit more limited in its equipment compared to the ninja, but you will hit stronger with, the spells will hit stronger with the sage, and I believe the sage is able to also cast summons as well. So if you held off long enough for a sage in this game, then you can have like all the summons plus the best like magics associated with whatever class. They're full everything. You can do white magic, black magic, but honestly they're rinse and repeat mages and devouts for me. So I just stick with mages and devout. Then for whatever reason, the sage actually gets like lower like MP for some of the abilities as well, which is kind of shit. But yeah, ninja is definitely top tier. So if you're struggling really hard in this game, it's definitely going to be the ninja that's going to come to your rescue. And that is Save for Truth in the 3D remake as well. I like to venture to say that you probably can't even really beat a lot of these bosses or anything like that without a ninja in the party. Alright, Ragnarok, this is the strongest sword in the game. This guy can be kind of a douchebag, so I'm going to play carefully here. That's what I was worried about. Wow. There you go, you got your healing pools finally. So now that you made it towards the end of the dungeon, you can really start scaling and, you know, run back and forth, just do a lot of battles for XP grinding and whatnot, and then just come back in here to heal yourself each time. So that's the best way to do it there. Before you hit the switch, make sure you talk to these guys. Okay, so we got the final bits here. So, Tornado, Arise, Holy, Flare, Death, and Meteor. Very expensive spells, as we just saw there. Tornado, Arise, and Holy. Flare, Death, Meteor. Staff that casts Cure when used in battle. So now you have infinite Cure in your arsenal as well. And this is pretty much how you stay alive through the entire dungeon, is just casting Cure on yourself. I wish that it was Cura, because your HP is so freaking high that Cure doesn't do anything for you. So they were very greedy in that regard, and this is what I really don't like about RPGs. It's like we went through hell and back to get these staffs, or, you know, to get these weapons, and you're going to give us one of the most basic shits in the world. That's pretty cool, dude. But yeah. Anyway, bitching aside. You can buy Odin, Leviathan, Bahamut here if you did not get them naturally from the optional side questing shit. So they do cost a lot, obviously, though. Or you can just buy them again, and then you can have like a bunch of summoners and a full party of summoners that just summon Bahamut like crazy and just wipe the game. Like, however you want to play this game, just do it. Then if you kind of dive off into the side path over there, okay. You will find this guy. How did I not find Crystal Mail yet? Did I miss a chest? Hold up. I missed one. I just haven't found Crystal Mail yet. That's crazy. Okay. But anyway, you get crystal shit here, and then all the shurikens you can buy are right on yonder. So you can see how expensive they are as well. They're not going to do you very good as these classes anyway. I mean, they're not really meant for them to begin with. But 22 isn't, like, I mean, a 10 is enough to really get through the game, but if you got a lot of gil, this is where you spend it. And that's it. So in the old, like, oldest versions of this game, like the very first iteration, you were never able to teleport out of here. You had to walk back that whole distance, battling enemy after enemy. This game was on some other brutal shit. It was insane back then. But now you can just pop out of here. And then you end up right outside the Crystal Tower. Alright, so that's going to do it. That's Eureka. That'll be the Eureka chapter. And then I would imagine that we probably have at least 2 to 3 more parts to finish the Crystal Tower. I'm going to say 2 because we are going to turn off some of the encounters, and that'll make it go a lot quicker. And then, you know, we'll see the final bits of this game finally wrap up. but that was it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again.